Good morning, everyone. Big hair don't care, huh? All right, got a download. Wanted to share it with you. My guides are talking about us not being afraid to be in our humanity, which is very interesting because now all of a sudden what's clicking is I did a plant medicine ceremony a few years ago, which I felt really didn't do much for me personally. My experience was, this wasn't so eye-opening. But there was one thing that came through, which was a message that every once in a while I get reminded of, and I feel like my guides are reminding me of this message right now, so I want to share it with you. There is no shame in being human. And I'm processing this right now, right? And that's the thing, is that so often we forget that we are human beings, right? And what do humans do? They mess up. They hurt other people. They feel out of control. They try and take control. Sometimes they're mean. Sometimes they're very loving. And there's this gamut of emotions from the depths of despair, hello, to the zenith of bliss, right? So, I mean, this being human thing is just a variety of experiences. And so often I forget, I don't know about you guys, that I'm human, which means I'm allowed to make mistakes, which means I can feel embarrassed at times, which means sometimes I piss people off. Sometimes I love people, right? Sometimes, I don't know, just I have breakdowns. Sometimes I have breakthroughs. I mean, we're all here to experience and remember the essence of our soul and who we are, and to take power over it, to become empowered. But I think a lot of times in this process of humanity, we forget that we can screw up and we can make mistakes and we can do all these things. You know, I believe my guides are piggybacking on the message I gave the other day about having self-compassion. You know, and it's this idea of perfectionism, you know, and that's a human thing. That is not a spiritual thing. It is a human thing that is created. We live in the third dimension of polarity, which means opposites, right? So that means we're aware of things and we're also aware of not things, right? We're aware of opposites like fat, skinny, rich, poor. We have this, we don't have this. And not to get too complicated, but that's because we have space and time here in the third dimension of reality. What changes all of that is consciousness, and consciousness is energy. And a lot of the times, human beings act unconsciously, and that's just part of the human design. By being in our unconscious, we have experiences, we have feelings, we make choices and decisions and behave and act certain ways that give us experiences in which we evolve and grow. So, you know, I often find times where I feel like I'm judging my human experience and I'm judging myself, and how am I humaning? And right now we're all just going through such an evolution. Mother Earth is going through her own change. The cosmos is going through this change. Humanity is going through this change. Systems are breaking down in order to break through and change. And there's just so much uncertainty, and it's scary as fuck. And not only that, the cosmos are sending light codes, right? And light is energy. And our bodies are matter. So our bodies, our physical matter, is taking in this light, this energy. And even our bodies are having a challenging time integrating that light. And many of us may be in physical discomfort as well. So I think what my guides are really trying to make sure that I get across to not only myself, but to you guys is that we're humaning just fine, and everything that we're experiencing is part of the experience. It's part of the human evolution. Humanity is getting an upgrade, and it's uncomfortable physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, which of course is going to affect us in a physical reality. So hang in there. I'm hanging in there. I feel compressed. I feel squeezed. At times I feel smothered. So many times I feel insane, right? And I'm in this just like you guys are. There is no, as long as someone is wearing their earth suit, there's no one human that is better than another human. So try and also release that comparison mode. But that's part of that polarity and duality, right? If we understand what we do have, we understand what we don't have. So that's the comparison thing. But try not to compare. You know, it just feeds into that perfectionism. It feeds into the duality, which is separation, right? One human being, one earth suit is not better than another earth suit. Everybody has their contribution to this experience. So we're humaning fine. Our guides, my guides, your guides, the cosmos, everybody, all the non-physical, let's just say. I feel like they're cheering us on, and it's us that is having a hard time with it, which is totally normal because we have these physical bodies that are being affected by all of this light, these downloads, right? So we're just constantly integrating, and the energy is shifting so fast. So rounding it out to this compassion, right? Being compassionate to ourselves. We're humaning just fine. So I'm grateful for this message because it is reminding me that every time I feel like I fucked up or messed up or whatever, it's part of the process and I'm actually on track. So you are on track. You're humaning just fine. Okay? All right. Stay connected, and I'll see ya on the flip side.